it, shake it out.
No me diga a mí que tú te vas quedando en la picadura, no te me digas.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Sunday. Hope everyone's having a really great weekend. It is officially becoming quite cold in New York now, so it's definitely hoodie season from here on out. Now, if we have a look at what is going on today in the markets, we are seeing a little bit of red today. It's really not too much. The losses are quite minimal. You know, you have 0.6 for Bitcoin, 1.5 for Ethereum, 1.7 for XRP. So really, it's just another kind of stagnant, steady day in the market. Bitcoin dominance has gone up 0.3%. If we look at the biggest gainers of the day, we see that Wax is up again. Now, Wax has actually been moving quite well over the past week or so. Actually, more than that. If we actually come here, you'll see it looks like it's flatlining, but if you zoom in to the past month, Wax has actually been steadily basically going up over time. So that's just something to note. Also, we also have MOAC, Mithril, Maker, Decentraland, Stellar, Populous, NEXO, Cash, Tezos, and then of course our good old friend Tether, which is at 99 cents. So it's almost back at $1. Now, before we get into things, I just wanted to say thank you to the 1,856 people that participated in my poll. So it looks like Digitex futures won by 40%, but Matrix AI was so close with only 36%. So what I decided to do is eventually I'm going to get around to doing reviews on all of these, but obviously I'm going to do Digitex, then Matrix, then Bizant, and then Aeon in that order, just to be fair, as my buddy CryptoTerp below suggested. If you guys didn't get a chance to vote this time, definitely go follow at the Crypto Zombie. I do multiple tweets like this, you know, every once in a while, and you guys can get in on some polls and we can have some community reviews here on the channel. So let's get into this. Once again, we have John McAfee defending his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction by 2020. In fact, now he's calling it conservative. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember what he said, but he basically had a little bit of a bet, and he said that if Bitcoin's not $1 million by 2020, well, he's going to eat his manhood on national TV. Now, this is actually a website that they have designed towards this. This is the Bitcoin Price Prediction Tracker. John McAfee says 1 Bitcoin will be worth 1 million by 2020. Is he losing his bet? So as you can see right here, we're supposed to be around $22,978 according to his price curve. We're currently obviously around 6,300 and something. Now, if we zoom out over time and we have a look at this, clearly we have a long way to go. As you can see right here above my head, until we get to the $1 million price point. Will it happen? I don't know. We hope so. But coming down here, it says that he's maintained his thought process about the $1 million Bitcoin in 2020, which, might I add you, is only 18 months away. But the interesting thing is they also had this interview with Cointelegraph, and they asked him about his prediction. How is this possible? So he goes on to say, it's simple, touching on the fact that the growing number of transactions and individuals using the Bitcoin network indicate that the true value of BTC is escalating tremendously. You also have Dyer, a company that does newsletter publications. They noted that the number of on-chain Bitcoin transactions throughout Q3 has actually breached a quarterly year-to-date high, outdoing quarter one by a relatively mere 70,000 transactions, but it still outdid it. So Dyer's authors also revealed that Bitcoin transaction counts have been increasing month over month by approximately 3 to 5% over the past 9 months. Now, it's also to be noted, John McAfee did say that the real value of a $1 million Bitcoin could be drastically different than today due to hyperinflation of fiat over, the fiscal system, essentially. Which brings me to my next story, which has prominent investors and people in the space basically calling out the fact that $20 trillion US debt will inevitably lead to a big crypto boom. Now, this doesn't just come from people who support it. This also comes from those who are actually against crypto, which we'll get into in a second. So as you can see right here, the national debt is just absolutely tremendous, especially in the US. So we have BlackRock CEO Larry Fink stated that the US government is headed towards a supply problem due to the country's increasing budget deficit. Beginning next year, Fink noted that the US could be forced to borrow $1 trillion a year. The rising inflation rate of the US dollar, as shown by the growing interest rates of the Federal Reserve, has become too high to sustain the economy. He says that could be the real issue related to everything, where we have interest rates becoming too high to sustain the economy with its growth rates. And hey, Look who else chimed in. Our good old buddy Noriel Rubini. That's right, Dr. Doom, the guy who has been bashing Bitcoin since it was less than $50. He goes on to even agree and also say because the stimulus was poorly timed, the US economy is now overheating and inflation is rising above target. The US Federal Reserve will thus continue to raise the federal fund rate from its current 2% to at least 3.5% by 2020, and that will likely push up short and long-term interest rates as well as the US dollar, predicting a major financial crash by 2020. So, I always joke, but people say that, Bitcoin fell from 20K to, 6,400 or whatever it is today. But guys, when I first got into crypto, when I first bought my first Bitcoin, it was only in May of 2017. And when I first bought my first Bitcoin, Bitcoin was $2,200. Bitcoin is currently $6,400. So, give or take a couple $100, what investment can you put your money in? And in a year and a half later, it's worth 3 times the amount that it was worth the year before, right? So, yeah, we went all the way up to 20K, but that was insane. Like, to me, that was insane. The fact that we've tripled since last year is really what I'm looking at. You also have Vinny Lingham, the founder of Civics, saying more wealth will be created in crypto over the next 10 years than over the prior 10 years. But remember, like any success story, it's not going to be a straight line up. Keep believing and just be patient. Now, if that's not enough to really show how people feel about the space, I also wanted to talk about the fact that CZ was on Crypto Trader, and he actually was talking about his multiple years of experience in the industry, and he even referenced how back in 2016, no one, not even himself, could have possibly predicted that ICOs were going to basically be the thing that was the catalyst for that crazy bull run that we had last year. He says something will trigger the bull run, but he's not sure what it will be. In fact, no one really knows what it'll be. A lot of the things that we're predicting, like Backed or the ETFs or Fidelity, may or may not. But like he said, ICOs was something that they didn't even see. However, they are preparing for it. And I'll show you right now, Binance is actually looking to really cater to these investors when they get involved. So this article goes on to talk about the launch of Backed only being a few weeks away on December 12th. Binance has announced a list of products and services geared towards attracting institutional investors. Now, we've gone over a few of them, so I'm not going to go into every single one, but the ones that I wanted to point out today specifically are services that are catered specifically for high volume traders as its tiered trading fee discount program. So they're actually going to start offering discounts for people that are trading in higher volumes. Also increase support for corporate accounts, including customization of AP and withdrawal limits, and also creating a new division known as Binance Research, which I spoke about in my video yesterday if you want to check that out. The other thing that they're doing is creating sub accounts, and you can support up to 200 sub accounts per client. So accounting and trading activity overview for sub accounts would include login history, open orders, etc. 0 fees for the transfer between sub accounts. So you can transfer within those accounts absolutely free, kind of like you can with Coinbase right now. And also full control of sub accounts, for example, resetting 2FA, removing APIs, freezing sub accounts, and those are just to name a few. So with all of this excitement, I just wanted to say that things are looking quite bullish, but hey, don't take my word for it. There's a straw poll that's been going around. It's got 808 votes, and it says which comes first, 5,000 Bitcoin or 8,000 Bitcoin. 57% say 8,000 Bitcoin, so straw poll doesn't lie. Straw poll doesn't lie. I'll drop that link if you guys want to vote. It's not my poll. But anyway, if that's not good enough news, the Ukraine government in an official statement confirmed their intentions to legalize and regulate cryptocurrencies within their jurisdiction. It looks like they're going to be doing this in a 2-step process. So first, it will be mandatory for all crypto trading platforms to implement AML and KYC systems, and the second part is a policy that's going to get launched probably between 2020 and 2021. During this time, the government expects to engage in smart contract protocols, crypto mining industry, and taxation. This part of the initiative will aim at recognizing cryptocurrencies as a stable, established industry and an actual asset class. So you are seeing these other countries coming around. They're realizing sooner or later we have to embrace this. And let's be honest, guys, these countries, they want to tax things, right? And they're like, oh my goodness, look at all these different things we can tax. So they're definitely not going to why would you ban something when you could just figure out a way to make money off of it, right? So anyway, that being said, it is time to dive into some conspiracy coin news of the day. Actually, it's not that much of a conspiracy. Anyway, but yeah, so people were pointing out there was this massive amount of Litecoin that was moved, right? It was over 1 million Litecoin valued at around $62 million. Some people think that it's just bigger exchanges moving it out of cold storage. But what I'm actually intrigued about is not so much of who's moving the funds, but the fact that $62 million worth of Litecoin was moved for 5 cents. $62 million was moved for 5 cents. If that's not amazing, I don't know what is. Also, let's talk about what is happening with the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. Well, Bitpay has recently come out and they say that they're siding with Bitcoin ABC. So that's the Bitmain Roger Ver Bitcoin, not the Craig Wright Bitcoin. That's the SV one. So they say Bitcoin ABC has scheduled a Bitcoin Cash protocol change via hard fork on November 15th, and we have not made any plans to migrate from the Bitcoin ABC implementation of Bitcoin Cash. So they're staying, that's what they're doing. Now you've had other people, Coinbase and Binance all announcing to support for one side of the split. They have the Satoshi Vision client and chain, which as a baseline raises the maximum block size to 128 megabytes currently. If you guys didn't know, that was a major part of it. But essentially, they say the only true support is the largest Bitcoin Cash mining pool, CoinGecko. If the economic support of the market tends towards one version or the other, miners are likely to follow suit. Individual miners, obviously without regard of the mining pool as a whole. And we saw this when Bitcoin Cash forked off of Bitcoin. These guys, they have no allegiance. They don't, you know what I mean? They just go to whatever's the most profitable. If it's more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash, they just move over and start mining that. If it's more profitable to mine Bitcoin, they just move over and start mining that, right? Because they just want to make a profit. So we'll have to see which one's more profitable, but it seems like right out the gate, a lot of support is going for the Roger Ver, Jihan Wu Bitmain ABC fork. So that looks like it's going to be the one, but time will tell, guys. Now, one thing I wanted to point out that was pretty cool was you have Kingsland University has announced that it's partnered with Tezos in order to provide new blockchain education opportunities. So Kingsland already provides a number of blockchain programs, and now it's going to offer courses specifically focusing on Tezos. So this is kind of interesting, right? We haven't really seen Tezos really getting featured in the limelight like this. So it says recently, Tezos announced a grant that will help fund the training for over 1,000 developers who are interested in working on the platform. Kingsland will help train those developers, and the university will work with experienced Tezos mainnet developers in order to create a curriculum that teaches students to deploy the platform. So that is pretty cool moving forward. We also have Credissimo-backed NEXO has become the first crypto lending platform to accept XRP as a collateral option for their instant crypto loans. So that's pretty good news for XRP holders as well. Also wanted to talk about the FoodChain from TE Food has officially been launched. Now currently, if we go over to the FoodChain, there's one transaction and it's looking pretty sad right now, but it's okay. It just got launched. So it says soon we will onboard the first batch of masternodes who applied to work with us and provide the backbone of the FoodChain. While in its current form, it's an empty ledger, as we just saw. We will see millions of transactions in it, the transparent food information it will provide. So we will see the consumers who take a look at the fresh food products in a grocery store somewhere in the world, and they'll notice the TE Food label, and then they can relax and know that that food product that they intend to buy is exactly what it states on the label. So whether it states bio, organic, non-GMO, halal, kosher, or from a specific geographical location, the stages it went through will become transparent to most important, the consumer. So yeah, I mean, this is a big thing. Some people are very into like organic food only or, grass-fed only. And, it's really difficult sometimes to verify this. So things like this are actually going to help in the future. And it's a great use for blockchain. I've been saying that for quite some time on this channel. We'll get some more transactions on you soon, FoodChain. Now, there was this warning post that came out on Reddit about Dropil sending your private keys in plain text to their servers. I had a look at some of the comments below. A lot of people are going back and forth saying technically it's not plain text, arguing this, arguing that. But I think the ultimate thing to take away from this is, I mean, have a look into this. If you're invested in Dropil, this may concern you. But in general, as a rule of thumb, you don't want to give your private keys to anyone. So regardless of whether they're encrypting them or sending them via plain text, I don't actually know, but I do know that you definitely shouldn't be giving your private keys to anyone ever, okay? So just please always remember to stay safe with that. And also another one I wanted to bring up was now we have, so Stox, they're saying, has performed an exit scam. I feel like all these different ICOs are exit scamming. The first thing I have to say is that sucks if it's true. However, it's kind of nice to sort of clean up the space, and only leave the legit projects, so to speak. But anyway, they talk about how in the last 2 weeks, Amazix have suddenly disappeared from their admin positions and the CEO has resigned. Comalogic and Invest.com, who were once presented as key factors in Stock's development and market share position, have also left the project. Reports from earlier today, they've now abandoned their office. They're firing all their staff. There's all these different transactions on the blockchain that show that different people are dumping their amounts. And then you also have Stock's advisor, Moshe Hageg, I believe is his name, wallet showing Stock's tokens being dumped on Bancor. So if you want to have a look at that, you can. The interesting thing, I went over, they still have the website. The website is still up and running. I don't know if it's an exit scam or everybody just dumped. And the other interesting thing is that they're actually up 2.2% today. No, never mind. Now they're down. All right. Well, so I guess that's what's going on with that. So moving on. We also have, speaking of these ICOs, right? We have Colorado regulators have taken action against 4 different ICOs recently in the state. So the ICO task force of the state has attacked Pink Date, Prisma, ClearShop Vision Ltd., and Bitcoin Investments Ltd. for not being regulated ICOs. So it says while it's not clear whether exactly these companies are based in Colorado's Division of Securities, they were promoting to Colorado residents, so therefore that makes them unregistered securities and against the law. So moving on, we have a Swedish man, just to kind of get off topic, that was sent to prison for mailing a bomb to Bitcoin firm CryptoPay. You can read all the details here. They say that they still don't know what his motivation was. So I'm kind of looking forward to see, what that motivation was moving forward. In another kind of funny story, just to lighten up the day, we have a school in Henan province has dismissed its principal last month for using its resources to mine cryptocurrency. So you have Principal Lei Hua and Vice Principal Wang Zipeng, who was just given a disciplinary warning, had been using school utilities and computers to mine cryptocurrency for personal profits since July 2017. So I guess this is their little rig that they had right here. So it says that the school discovered the activity after teachers complained of a buzzing sound after classes had ended. The duo operated 9 mining machines, costing the school over $2,450. It's not really that much, but still, it's kind of funny. So in other news, guys, we also have the Central Bank of the Bahamas has released a discussion paper proposing how it intends to regulate digital assets. This includes ICOs as part of efforts to eliminate the alleged threat of tax evasion, fraud, and money laundering. However, it does say that when regulation eventually comes, it's likely that only a state-issued cryptocurrency will be supported. But hey, it's a start, right? And if that doesn't make you happy, check out what somebody posted. Say what? Great Lakes Science Center to accept Bitcoin. And this was on ABC Channel 5. So check that out moving forward. And once again, guys, just want to say if you didn't get a chance to get in the poll today, I'll do a lot more in the future. So definitely check that out on Twitter at the Crypto Zombie. And I do appreciate everyone that contributed as well. Also, I notice I have 144 comments. So I'm actually going to look through the comments too and see if there's any other ones that kind of a lot of people were talking about, and we'll get those on the channel as well. And finally, that being said, I wanted to say thank you, of course, to you for coming back to the channel. Obviously, this channel's nothing without support from you. So everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, joining the Crypto Zombies Telegram chat below, signing up for the newsletter, hopping into my polls on Twitter, guys. It's all about community. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again. And until next time, guys, that's it for today. Go out, enjoy the rest of your beautiful weekend. I know for some people in the US, a lot of you have a 3-day weekend because Monday's a holiday, so definitely just sit back, chill, enjoy yourself. That being said, my name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.